Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch with segment. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? Anyway, it is my pleasure to announce that this is the official July 2026 video for Llewellyn's 2026 Tarot Calendar, July 2026. And let me tell you, this is the first time, or the second time, in all the years that Llewellyn has published this tarot calendar that I have the deck depicted on the calendar entry, and there's a spread, so I can use the deck with the spread. Very excited about this, and clearly so is Sekhmet. Sekhmet is not excited about it because she doesn't know what the hell is going on. She's just focused on grooming herself, but still, I'm excited for her, and I'm excited for all of you in YouTube land. So, let me talk to you about what is presented here. So we have the Two of Branches, more commonly known as the Two of Wands, from the Enchanted Forest Felines Tarot. We have focus on the symbol of the globe, and we have the Animal Companion spread. How very appropriate. Now, and it's depicted as a paw. Isn't it so cute? Drake, please do a close-up of the paw. Isn't this so cute? I mean, seriously cute. Super cute. Kitty cuteness. Galore. Okay. So, and of course it depicts this beautiful Siamese cat on the card. So we have the Two of Branches, again, more commonly known as the Two of Wands, from the Enchanted Forest Felines Tarot. By the way, it was written by Jen Sankey and illustrated by Iva Dukić. As we climb to new heights, we see even further horizons to explore. Let me read that again. As we climb to new heights, we see even further horizons to explore. The Two of Branches reminds us that we never stop growing and we must never lose our curiosity or sense of wonder. How such a feline statement. Now, let me read to you about the symbol, which is the globe. Remember, one of the traditional meanings of the Two of Branches, or Two of Wands, is international travel. What do cants want? World domination, especially the black cats. And nobody can convince me otherwise. The globe represents sovereignty, the capacity to rule over our lives and chart our destiny. Animals aren't shy about making their desires known, especially cats. We humans should learn to do the same, indeed. Now, out of curiosity, I'm going to see if this spread is featured in this booklet. I do not believe it is, because I would have remembered this. No, it is not. So kudos to Mr. Harrington for creating a whole new spread. I love that. Okay. So, of course, I'm going to shuffle the deck for the collective. And I'm going to read to you the details about the Animal Companion spread. There is a special pleasure in giving readings to our furred, feathered, and scaled friends. A really fun technique is to spread your cards out in a wide fan on the floor and let the animal choose them with nose or paw. Some slobber may occur. It is a 6-card spread. And I'm not going to read the spread just yet, but I'm going to read the note included by Mr. Harrington, which is, reading for pets is lovely, but it is not a substitute for a trip to the veterinarian if their health is in question. And if veterinary bills are a little out of your price range right now, no judgment, number one. And number two, see if you can find resources in your area to find you discounted rates on veterinary services, even beyond the basics like spaying or neutering. because they do exist. They may not be as many, but they do exist. Okay. And I'm going to keep the booklet handy just because I've only used this tarot deck a handful of times, and I am aware that all of the suits of the minor arcana have been renamed. For example, branches are more commonly known as wands. So, I love you, Sekhmet. I'm going to have to work around you, because that's how it is with you. Okay, so, and my mug of London fog is keeping this positioned beautifully. So, we have card, oh, I did shuffle. Did I cut? I'm going to cut. Okay, yeah. So we have card number 1. Card number 2, which is crossing card number 1. Those of us familiar with the Celtic cross spread, we are familiar with crossing cards. Card 3, card 4, card 5, and card 6. I'm working around Sekhmet. Notice she is in the center of the table. She did that on purpose. Okay, so card number, now for those of you in the collective, this could relate to you or it may not relate to you. But because, especially if you do not have an animal, but if you do not have an animal of your own, this may relate to an animal that's connected to you in some way. It could be a relative's animal. It could be a friend's, and even a neighbor's animal, especially if you happen to animal sit for other animals. So it may not directly affect you, but it may affect somebody in your community, in your family, in your sphere of life, if you will. So again, we have card number 1, the animal's overall well-being. And for myself, I'm going to just focus on Sekhmet individually, but collectively, all 4 of my cats. And we have 2 of saucers, which is more commonly known as the 2 of cups. So generally speaking, the animal's well-being is positive, is good, is reliable, is stable. That's number 1. Number 2, it's possible that they could have an issue with another animal or with you, the human, or the human-looking creature. There's also the possibility that there may be an animal that is no longer a part of the household for whatever reason or reasons, and there could be a strain because of that. I'm also going to say that hydration is important. Earlier today, I refilled the water fountain, and I always use purified water, even though it does have a purification system. So you may want to make sure that your animals are being hydrated. I also give them at least 1 can of wet food a day for additional hydration, but that's me. Okay, the most significant challenge that your animals are experiencing, that's card number 2, it is the crossed card. I can't help but notice that Sekhmet's paw is on top of it, and it is the Page of Dandelions. Now, I believe dandelions are the same as pentacles. I'm going to reconfirm that. Actually, no, the dandelions are equivalent to the swords, because it says here, the divine feline for the Ace of Dandelions is handing us our best thoughts, ideas, and intentions. So dandelions relate to the suit of swords. So this is the Page of Swords, as opposed to the Page of Pentacles. So yes. So with regards to the Page of Dandelions, or more commonly known as the Page of Swords, the challenge has to do with 2 things. Number 1, it has to do with not receiving enough attention, not receiving enough mental stimulation. So let's say you have a non-furry animal. What would stimulate your snake, for example, or what would stimulate your owl, another example, or your gerbil, as the case may be. So there may be a need to provide some mental stimulation for your animal companions. And that, again, is the most significant challenge that your animals in YouTube land are facing right now. Now, card number 3, which is right where Sekhmet's head is, physical needs to be addressed, and it is the Ten of Saucers, more commonly known as the Ten of Cups. So right now, the physical need, this is a reconfirmation of fluids, of hydration. It's also possible that they may need to be bathed in some way. There are shampoos and conditioners and sprays for dogs and cats. If you have neither a dog nor a cat, you may need to look at whatever the equivalent is of what type of grooming products, especially in liquid form, your animal companions may need. They may need to be wiped down with something. They may need to, I know that some black cats get dandruff, so this black cat may need some wiping down, or one of my other black cats, I only have 2, but still, may need a special wipe that has dandruff eliminating properties. So that's something else to consider. Now, card number 4, emotional needs to be addressed at this time, and it is the Death card. So, is there some kind of a fear that is dominating your animal companions? Are they afraid of the possibility of somebody dying in your midst? Has there been a death in your sphere of life recently, in your home, in your community, in your workplace? And is that death affecting you to a certain degree? That, and remember, animals, especially dogs and cats, are very intuitively sensitive. They're very energetically sensitive. So they may be picking up on something that you're experiencing, especially if it is a death. Now, it may not necessarily be a physical death, but it could be an ending of some kind. Maybe you were laid off. Maybe you were fired. Maybe you're on the verge of being evicted. Maybe your home is being on the verge of foreclosed upon. There could be some ending that occurred, or some impending ending that could be happening, that could be affecting those animals emotionally. So I would say, do what you can to reassure those animals emotionally. Consider what their emotions may be. If you have access to a pet psychologist, that may be something to consider. If you have access to a pet psychic, that may be another option to consider. I do not have that type of ability, and it has been a while since somebody has asked about their pets or their animal companions in readings with me. I'm not opposed to it, but I do believe in full transparency. And the last time that a client asked about an animal companion, I don't even remember how long it was. Now, card number 5, the animal's companion message or advice for you, and it is the Page of Saucers, more commonly known as the Page of Cups. This is very clearly saying to me, you in YouTube land, and yours truly here, is not giving your animal companions enough emotional time, enough emotional quality time. So make sure that you are loving to them. Make sure that you are considering their emotions. Make sure that you are doing things that calm them, that relax them, that please them, that make them feel happy and safe. Make sure that you are letting them do things. Obviously, don't let them go near an open flame on the countertop or on the stovetop, if you have such things, but let them explore a little bit. If there's a door that you don't usually keep open, open it if you can safely do so, and let them check it out and see what's what. Or if you live in an apartment building like yours truly, you may want to open the apartment door and see, let them peek out a little bit so they can look at what's around them. If it's a snake, it's a little different, but you know what I mean. So they definitely want more of your time. They want more of your time and your attention. They want to be emotionally soothed by your presence, by your energy. And then the last card, your next adventure together, and it is the Chariot. And I love how this depicts a big black cat with a starry crown, and it's being pulled by squirrels. So I have to laugh because I remember a few years ago I was visiting a friend, and I was early, so I was waiting in the courtyard of her building, and I happened to see an older couple walking their cat in a bassinet style basket, like a bassinet style carrier that had a hood and a screen. And I must tell you, the thought has occurred to me to have this with my cats. I don't know how many of them would be okay with it, but just the thought of like giving them like little glimpses, just to see if they would be okay with it. I have not, because my sense is that none of my cats would be okay with this, and I don't want to freak them out for obvious reasons. Besides, my cats do get exposure to the outside world when they go in, the carrier to go to the veterinarian. But it is possible that perhaps for yours truly, I may want to invest in some type of bassinet, just to like test the waters, if you will. And my life partner, I have no doubt, would be able to find one that is very inexpensive and very sturdy. And also keep in mind that the Chariot is a card that I've often looked at as the overcoming of great obstacles and adversity, even against all odds. So it is quite possible that there is some type of adventure that you and your animal will be able to go on because you, in YouTube land, are overcoming a massive obstacle or hurdle, and it is going to make it easier for you to have this adventure with your animal companion. And the final message card is the Nine of Mushrooms, which is more commonly known as the Nine of Pentacles. And I want to tell you, I have lost count of how many times I have seen mushrooms in decks that I do not own, mind you. And there is a particular tarot deck called the Magic Mushroom Tarot, which I saw for the first time at Hive Mind Books in Brooklyn, New York. And I will tell you that it is a tarot deck that low-key haunts me. Like every once in a while since then, which is almost 2 years ago at this point, it's like, hey, remember me, Mr. Alvarez? I didn't forget about you. Did you forget about me? And even though I'm not a fan of like mushroom imagery, it's all over the place. And yes, I do happen to love mushrooms. I do love adding mushrooms to pasta. And the few times that I eat pizza, one of my favorite toppings is mushrooms. So I know that whether I like it or not, I need to have the Magic Mushroom Tarot deck. And I know that there are other decks, not just tarot, that do have mushroom imagery. So, yeah, I know. So, this is the final message card, and what it is saying is that there are monies being made available to you to do something very special for your animal companions, whether it is take them to the vet because they need just a general checkup, maybe they need some extra care, maybe you want to treat them to a nice toy. So there is more money that is being made available for you in YouTube land to do this for your animal companions. As always, I want to thank Llewellyn Publications for continuing to publish the Llewellyn's Tarot Calendars. They make me very happy. As somebody who loves the tarot, it is a wonderful resource. It is a great resource also for anybody, whether they're just learning the tarot, whether they are a seasoned tarot reader or tarot user. It is an excellent resource for anybody who wants to learn or relearn the tarot. Not to mention the fact for those of us who are consumed with hashtag decklust, and yes, I'm going to make sure that Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, puts hashtag decklust in the screen, because that's one of my favorite hashtags for obvious reasons. And I will also link one of my favorite deck blogs. It's called Little Red Tarot. and it is how I first learned of the hashtag Decklust. It is a hashtag I do not use often enough. So you can see that changing very soon. That's confirmation. And that's also bust. And thank you to all of you in YouTube land for all the likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions to my YouTube channel, and especially those of you who have already scheduled your sessions. And of course, a big and beautiful thank you to Charles Harrington for having taken over writing the insights, spreads, and tips from the Barbara Moore. I wish all of you a beautiful night and a wonderful week, and as always, stay in tune with your intuition, stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, alternate your tea and your coffee with your water, and stay tuned for the next video.